Thank you very much. If you would just give us a few moments to discuss the information that you put before us, we would
Yep.
appreciate the patience. Thank you. And they like click off their microphones, and then
Step
they
back.
kind of like lean over and they're having a conversation with one another, and it goes on for like several minutes where it's this like awkward thing where you're kind of like standing there and you're like watching them and you want to hear what they're saying, but you're poignantly not trying to listen because you know it's like a bad thing. Kind of like look around a little bit and then you look off to the side and you see the captain sitting there and he's looking at you and you're like look away, and it's this like long awkward period of time, and eventually they kind of like nod to each other and you can see they're pulling back into the what should I say? They're pulling back into like to speak to you. So they mute their microphones, and he leads in and he's like, "We've conferred amongst each other with the information that was brought before us prior to your arrival, and then of course the impassioned and well put together speech that you have just delivered, and we have all come to an agreement that what you did was completely within your right to do so, and by far the better choice for the ship. We actually have looked further into this matter and the way that you behaved during this entire dogfight, the entire chase that took place, and everything that you did. Not only did you perform extremely well here in the defense of the ship, and he kind of throws forward like algorithms and like the average person and their success rate, and then like the success rate of yours. The captain himself
Stroke the ego.
was more than happy to put forward a couple of highlight a few moments of where it was that you had really stood out, and he shows like a couple of different times of where like you just did extremely well with success.
When we were base to base.
Yeah, right. And he's like where you did extremely well, and he also would went ahead and he wrote a letter of recommendation for you to be put through back into the academy to finish your training into becoming an officer. After the speech that you delivered today, your composure and your dedication to your task, and why it is that we do the things that we do, and the lives that you've saved and the decisions that you've made, we agree that you are in fact the material that we want to see as an officer in the Alliance military. So we all agree that your decisions were well made and well executed, and we all agree that you should go back to the academy to finish your training and becoming an officer. So congratulations on the promotion, Rockwell.
I would nod to them. I'd look to the captain. I'd nod to him, and I would leave.
One more thing, of course, Rockwell. While we are going to put through the paperwork for you to be able to continue back to the academy and finish your training, unfortunately, you were not able to go there quite just yet. New orders came down the pipe for you to go and investigate the situation a little bit further. We've had a short period of time. The captain has been able to speak at length with the Volus that were rescued off of their ship. And there are matters that need to be looked forward into. After speaking with those Volus and the ones that were spoken with originally on the planet of Tridents that you had mentioned prior, they actually specifically requested you and the other two that you had journeyed. What were the names? Ward and Carmine. Ward and Carmine will be accompanying you on this upcoming task. So you are getting your promotion, but we're going to have to put a pin in it for a short moment while you finish a few important tasks first. I hope you understand the necessity of this.
Understood.
We, of course, have to put the Alliance military and the relationships that we're forming with the many other races that we are meeting through the Citadel before our own personal endeavors, yes?
Absolutely, and I'm glad that they decided to trust. They formed some trust with me. I'll be happy to go on this mission.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that you feel the same. I hope that you will make it by for the ceremony later.
The ceremony?
Oh, yes, for Ward and Carmine.
Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
And then they say, you may take your leave.
Dismissed, blah, blah, blah.
Dismissed, yeah.
Leave. Just a question, general question. Are the Volus that we saved on this ship right now? Or did they get, like, escorted away?
They are, in fact, on this ship. Their ship was functioning well enough that they could putt along to meet up with this ship, and the Vesuvius has agreed to be so kind enough as to take that ship onto their dock and to transport it to the Citadel itself. They wouldn't go so far as to bring it to the
space or something.
to the Volus space or anything like that. They wouldn't be so presumptuous as to do that, just based off of a few merchants' requests. But they're definitely
too far.
And never mind too far. It's also because like they are here to make relationships. It's just a matter of who are these guys. It's like It's like if the CEO of McDonald's is like, yeah, just drop me off at Earth, to a couple of Vorcha. You know what I mean? Like, like so you wouldn't necessarily.
Clan. What was their clan?
Well, you're going to be able to either look stuff up later on, or have a conversation.
I would have been like organizing a meeting with them later after this ceremony anyway. If they are on the ship, because we're basically going to be working for them, with them, something to do with their clan and whatever. So that would definitely be something on the list for later. But first, ceremonies.
Okay, so the ceremony that takes place at Ron is actually a medaling ceremony that happens. What it is the admirals, so the admirals give to the captain to award to the two of them. You guys are actually receiving a silver star for your gallantry during your duties. What it was is, and it was amongst the feats that you had participated in, is after having been in a firefight with an enemy force that you've never dealt with prior, actually engaging in combat with them where you've taken fire and you've been injured by them. Despite all of that, and despite the fact that you were on a ship that was getting attacked, without a second's notice, you were able to hop onto a shuttle and crash land that shuttle onto an enemy ship, and then on that enemy ship go and save a few what are they called, hostages that were on that ship, and to completely eliminate the enemy threats, doing so with the utmost respect and responsibility that is expected of an Alliance soldier. And so you guys actually receive silver stars for the efforts that you did there. And what's his name there? Private Johnson also receives a Medal of Bravery as well for having also crash landed onto that ship and jumped on with you guys. So there was no direct orders given to you to go on there. They were just like, who's down there, who can get there? And you guys are like, we'll go. And you ran and you went. You know what I mean? So you guys head directly there. So he also received a Medal of Bravery for his actions in that as well. So you guys can pin that onto your dress uniforms when you wear them, which is wonderful. Let's see, after all of that is done, you wanted to go and try to find out any information that you possibly can about the Volus. So do you actually intend to try to make a meeting with them? Or do you want to just kind of like look into the databanks and find out what information you can find?
I would actually try and make a meeting with them, and I would also invite these two. It would be one of those things where I wouldn't check their schedules. I would just sort of like ping them an invitation, and it would say like, if they didn't know that we are going to go on a mission related to the Volus, and we were specifically requested by the Volus, and that's the details. But it actually wouldn't be. It would be way less detailed than anything he'd ever sent you before, because he doesn't really know what's up.
Gotcha.
But whether they show up or not, or whether they're busy, is entirely up to them, I guess.
And you're sending this specifically to the Volus themselves, yes?
I'm sending this to Carmine and Ward.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. I'm going to let you do that in 1 second. Let me just explain something to chat, because LOL46 down there is asking a question. Actually, that's a really good point. I did not update what it is that silent patrons are able to do to include this game as well. I will totally update that probably over the course of the next 2 or 3 days, where I'm finishing up doing a whole bunch of things for patrons to help out as well. Absolutely, something like that can be done. Credits can be sent. But again, I would have to go and update that over there to see exactly what's possible. But thank you. Maybe during the break I can come up with something very quickly. My apologies. So you send a very vague message over to Rookie and to Carmine, sorry, Ward and Carmine, to be like, hey guys, like, what the what? And hey guys, how do you respond?
Sure.
You guys could easily meet with him too. Just be like,
Yeah, it would be like,
the Vesuvius
this is
does
what's
have a
going on.
lounge. You can head to the
I'll be
lounge,
here.
a pub.
Ooh, a pub.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Absolutely, the meeting
I'm
would
definitely
be
there.
done.
Gotta go to the pub.
So would this be the same night that you got your good news and they got their stars?
Yeah, it'd be like that night, and then the whole plan, it would be on there. The whole plan is like, meet up, discuss, go to the Volus. So the Volus would already have a thing like, can we talk to you?
I'm glad that is Rockwell's plan, and I'm sure Ward doesn't mind that plan as well. Like, oh, show up, we'll have a couple of drinks at the pub and chat, and then we'll go and speak to the Volus. I think Carmine just did some amazing stuff and's just got a medal put on his chest. Doesn't Carmine want to go see if there's anybody that wants to celebrate it with him? No?
He's
He'll be at the
not really
pub
that
on
outgoing.
the-
You'd be
the other
surprised.
side.
Really? Wow. Okay, so Carmine
you'd
is
be
not like a
surprised.
big outgoing person.
No, not really.
You know what they say about assuming. All right, so anyways, you guys make your way to the pub. You sitting at the bar? Or are you trying to grab like a table? Do you want to try to
Does
grab
the
like a
pub have
private
a
room
name?
off to the side?
Does the pub have a name?
No, it's on the Vesuvius. It's part
Or the
of the
Vesuvius pub.
yeah. It's just
Yeast
part of the
Face
lounge.
pub.
It's just part of the
Because you know
lounge of
whoever they
your
put
ship.
to be like the head chef of this thing would have named it, at least colloquially.
I mean, if it was a private sector chef, that might be one thing, but it's just a military chef. He's just like an E7 chef. You know, he's chief petty officer of the Vesuvius pub.
Sure.
Fine.
If there's
when we
alcohol,
meet up, then
Okay, so
I would have already been there. You know, actually, would I have ordered drinks for those two? I would.
I would try to get you to at least buy us one round for
I
our
would
medals.
buy you drinks when you get there. I wouldn't have ordered you drinks already. I think that's.
You don't know what I drink.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Would Rockwell of pre-ordered drinks? I feel like he would have had that thing. It's like, I don't know what they like to drink. I don't know if they're gonna show up. That's the whole thing.
okay. So and you're
That's fair
hoping
enough.
that the Volus themselves actually show up to the pub. But you didn't request them.
Oh no, I was hoping to like go and meet them at their.
Oh,
like,
okay, okay. I'm so sorry. I got things confused. I'm so sorry, Ollie. So the two of them are definitely meeting you at the pub. They're there. Bam, go. They show up. Actually, honestly, because they both spent so much time at like the medical area, and then they both went and got their medals together. I imagine they probably come to the pub at the same because they didn't have to go get changed or anything. They have to go
We're
to their own
practically
separate
besties
rooms.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
Basically
much, yeah.
besties.
We
yeah.
did elevator dancing.
They did elevator dancing.
That's true. You
forget.
bonded.
So you guys come walking into the pub.
Yep. I just shake his hand. Or attempt to shake his hand.
Yep.
I'll shake hands.
Woo!
Sure, why not?
Bonding.
We're celebrating tonight. I'll humor him.
Ah,
What? And I'm also like, I'll humor him. We're just both shaking our hands for the other person's benefit. I'd order them basic drinks and just sort of sit down and be like, I got a promotion, you got medals, but we have a duty to do. I was informed that we were specifically requested by the Volus that we interacted with on Trident to do a job with them, for them. I have not been given all the details yet.
So, let me get this straight. They like us after nearly blowing their ship up. Okay. That's
From what our superiors were told, they liked how we came off in conversation, and that's very important to their kind, apparently.
So letting you do all the talking was not a mistake after all, then?
Thank God they didn't see me walk into a door.
You would, Rockwell wouldn't be laughing at that. I in truth have no idea, but they seem to trust us enough to specifically ask the Alliance for us for some mission, and we'll be seeing the Volus that you two rescued later on, if you wish to come with me.
Might be a good idea to find out a little bit more about what we're going into.
Yeah, isn't
Absolutely.
the point of the mission to begin with? So
Yes, we'll be gathering intel on their culture by helping them, and so on and so forth. But
And then scanning whatever we can find.
yes, but don't let them
It's
see.
kinda-
what we're doing it.
yeah,
The perhaps potential issue we have here is that it may be related to the Batarians that betrayed them. Those Batarians are working for them and kidnapped them. That's we may there is a high chance this might be an extravagant bounty hunting mission.
I don't see any problem here, to be
I
honest.
have
They
no
went
problem
down
with
like a sack of potatoes last time.
See, that's the difference between our characters. Rockwell is like anxious at that idea, and these two who are like shooties are like,
I'm
Yeah.
practically jumping to go already.
I'll show them what I've learnt since then. Bastards.
well, that fills me with confidence. Great. I assume it will be. I don't know if we'll be taking the Stalingrad or what. Again, we have not got the information yet. But once we speak with the Volus shortly, I'm sure everything will be enlightening, to say the least. And I think
Yeah.
that's probably enough for pub conversation. We're not really small talkers.
Yeah,
We're
no
not
problem.
a party of friends.
No,
we
no,
are
no.
very much colleagues.
Yeah, well, the two of them are friends.
Yeah.
You were just kind
Yeah,
of the person that's
I'm
with
their
them.
boss.
I
Matt,
have
you've been
respect
their boss.
for Carmine because it was pretty much because of him that I'm okay.
Mm.
So
Oh, there's
I have-
respect. There's just no friendship.
I have a lot of respect. I don't really trust Rockwell as much right now because I mean he's the kind of guy that goes onto a ship knowing that it's probably going to take off. You know, it's probably got many enemies in there, but you know.
So how
It was
is
a
it?
good idea at the time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Of course.
So how is it that you wanted to do to actually grab the attention of the what are they called? The Volus themselves for this?
Would have organized a meeting beforehand.
Yeah.
Like,
But I'm saying you're
we-
trying to use your contacts to do so.
I assume, considering they're on the ship and we're working with them, I would have a way to contact them. If not, if I wasn't given one, I would. find one.
They did not give you basic information for you to get a hold of them. It was kind of like one of those. The higher ups are handling them.
I don't really want to use my special ability to do that because that seems like that's not for characters that already exist, right? That's basically for making a new character. So I'd be fine with making like a connect check to try and see if I can find a way in.
Sure.
That makes sense to me.
Definitely.
Charisma.
That's a.
Charisma.
Oh, no, you didn't roll it yet. I'm sorry. I was like, wow, it's a really good roll, but that was still your talk check from before. Cool. So because your connect check, let's look at what this does. Because your skill is.
I'm not doing anything with skills. I'm just doing a normal check.
No, I get what you're saying. I heard you.
Because what I could do is try to talk to the Volus that we met before, but I haven't met these Volus, so I can't connect with them.
Yep.
So, this would be more talking around the ship, trying to find a person who's in charge of watching them and being like, look, I actually have a mission to go talk to these people, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Right?
This looks like it's going to be a big one, and it's a 10. Sweet. That's a good check. So you make a connect check to try to speak to somebody more or less like, hey, listen, we're going to be doing this mission for them. I need to speak with them. It's kind of like one of those yeah, that's probably a good idea. And so they do arrange a meeting for you, like you said, beforehand for you guys to go meet them after you went to the pub tonight. So you will have that meeting arranged for you, and you're going to go and speak with, they said they'll have you speak with one of the Volus will go and meet with you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so anyways,
meeting rooms.
I'm sorry?
Off to meeting rooms, I guess.
Yep. So you are heading to go meet off with that Volus, and as you're heading out there to meet with him, you are as you go meet with him, go walking into the room. It's not like the beautiful place that you were in before, where the meeting room was this big ornate table with all this blah blah blah. It's actually rather simple place you guys go. It's just a simple round table for you to go and have a conversation, because I imagine you wanted to do it very privately and not in the pub. So the three of you were able to go in there and sit down and meet with the Volus. Same as before, when you guys first walk into the room, he's on the far side of the table, and it looks like he's sitting down. But then as he comes walking around the table, it's made very apparent he wasn't sitting, he was just standing the entire time. And so he does make his way walking around the table and comes over to greet you guys. Do you say something first, or do you allow him to speak first?
I would let him speak first. I imagine Volus are fans of greetings, right? And he's got the power, and like we're working for him, so I think that's reasonable. I would stand and be like very just like polite, not full military, but like so stand quite politely.
Okay, so you allow him to speak first. He comes walking around, and he's like,
"Greetings, Earth Clan. You are the one that they call Rockwell, yes?"
Yes, I am Rockwell. This is Carmine, and this is Ward.
It is a pleasure meeting with the three of you. What you have done for us has been seen as very, very beneficial to what it was that we were working on.
Good.
You had made a meeting with me, I imagine, because you were trying to get some information from me, yes?
Yes, I'm aware that your organization, because like Rockwell wouldn't know like their like clan base or anything yet, so he'd be like, I believe your organization is hiring me, or at least gaining our aid. I would love to know why, what we are going to be used for.
Well, in short, we need to make sure that the problem of these Batarians is not stretching any further than the one incident that you've already interjected in.
That's entirely understandable. That is what we thought the case would be, and we are happy to oblige.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you are so willing to assist us, and that the Alliance themselves have also been so willing to assist us. As a matter of fact, the Earth Clan in general seems to be very amicable.
I am very glad. Speaking as Earth Clan, I'm very glad that you feel that way.
So what other information did you need from me?
These Batarians that you hired, were they hired through a business, a network, or were they found individually?
Is there a contact?
My
that gave you
clan
these
has been
Batarians?
working with the Batarians. I'm sorry, you were speaking.
I just wanted to know if there was a contact that gave you the information for these particular Batarians. Have you been working with these particular Batarians?
My clan has been working with the Batarian race for a considerable amount of time. Perhaps 7 or 8 Earth life generations. So we did not need any form of reference to get to them. They were more than willing to work for us when we needed to fill the spots.
That's understandable. Almost like a family indebted to your clan.
The Volus are among the few races the Batarians are still willing to work with after they've been slighted by the Council. They, of course, do not like the Earth Clan.
What did the Batarians... Why did the Batarians believe they were slighted by the Council?
I'm not here to give history lessons. Perhaps you should do a little research on the Skillian Verge. It is very recent history.
I will happily do so. Any information could help us on finding out why they did this, so that we can avoid anything like this happening in the future. Tippity tap.
Well, was there anything specific that you needed to know other than the orders that you'll be getting from your superiors?
I'd look for these two, and if they have anything,
I'm good
Not
with
really.
the information I've been given.
I believe we'll be absolutely fine, sir. Again, it'll be an honor working on your behalf.
Absolutely. It would be our pleasure to continue building these relationships between the Earth Clan and the Vankala Clan.
Right, and I imagine after then we would sort of say our goodbyes, which might be a fairly lengthy process with Evolus, and head off. Right, do a little research. I would like recommend like these two is like, right, we're going to be fighting Batarians. Try and do any kind of research on the typical weaponry they use. I know that's like saying what kind of weapons do humans use, but you know what I mean.
We know that they
kind
like to use machetes.
Yes, hopefully we can avoid that happening
Keep
to
away.
either of us in the future. Yes.
All right, so why don't we take our first break right now, and you know, come back in about 5 minutes and continue going. Get my nose cool down. Oh man, whenever I do the bolus, it's always so warm inside there. Now, I have to smell my own breath. It's awful. So I will see you. I will see you guys in about 5 minutes. Go take a pee or whatever it is you do. Bye.